Welcome to the Real English Practice YouTube channel.
What do you do every morning?
I wake up and brush my teeth.
Does your sister live with you?
No, she lives in another city.
When do you eat breakfast?
I eat breakfast at 7:30 a.m.
Where do you buy your clothes?
I buy my clothes at the mall.
Why do you like coffee?
I like coffee because it tastes good.
Who do you talk to every day?
I talk to my mom every day.
How do you go to work?
I go to work by bus.
Which color do you like best?
I like blue best.
Do you play sports?
Yes, I play soccer.
What does your brother do?
My brother works in a bank.
When does your school start?
My school starts at 8 a.m.
Where does your dad work?
My dad works in an office.
Why does your dog bark a lot?
My dog barks a lot because he is happy.
Who does the cooking in your house?
My mom does the cooking in our house.
How does your teacher help you?
My teacher helps me with math.
Which book do you read?
I read a storybook.
Do you like to swim?
Yes, I like to swim.
What do you eat for lunch?
I eat rice and chicken for lunch.
Does your friend play video games?
Yes, my friend plays video games.
When do you watch TV?
I watch TV at 8 p.m.
Where do you keep your phone?
I keep my phone on the table.
Why do you go to the park?
I go to the park to walk.
Who do you visit on weekends?
I visit my grandparents on weekends.
How do you learn English?
I learn English with a teacher.
Which fruit do you eat?
I eat an apple.
Do you drink tea?
No, I drink coffee.
What does your mom make for dinner?
My mom makes pasta for dinner.
Does your dad drive a car?
Yes, my dad drives a car.
When does your brother come home?
My brother comes home at 6 p.m.
Where does your teacher live?
My teacher lives near the school.
Why does your cat sleep a lot?
My cat sleeps a lot because she is lazy.
Who does your homework with you?
I do my homework with my sister.
How does your friend help you?
My friend helps me with my studies.
Which game do you play?
I play chess.
Do you like music?
Yes, I like music.
What do you do on Saturday?
I go shopping on Saturday.
Does your mom work?
Yes, my mom works in a hospital.
When do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10 p.m.
Where do you sleep?
I sleep in my bedroom.
Why do you read books?
I read books to learn new things.
Who do you call every evening?
I call my best friend every evening.
How do you cook rice?
I cook rice in a pot.
Which movie do you watch?
I watch a funny movie.
Do you have a pet?
Yes, I have a dog.
What does your dog eat?
My dog eats meat.
Does your sister like to dance?
Yes, my sister likes to dance.
When does your dad read the news?
My dad reads the news in the morning.
Where does your mom buy groceries?
My mom buys groceries at the market.
How does your teacher explain things?
My teacher explains things with examples.
Which subject do you like?
I like math.
Do you eat breakfast every day?
Yes, I eat breakfast every day.
What do you wear to school?
I wear a uniform to school.
Does your friend live near you?
No, my friend lives far away.
When do you play with your friends?
I play with my friends after school.
Where do you meet your friends?
I meet my friends at the park.
Why do you like the park?
I like the park because it is big.
Who do you play with at the park?
I play with my classmates at the park.
How do you go to the park?
I go to the park by bike.
Which bike do you ride?
I ride a red bike.
Do you like to read?
Yes, I like to read.
What do you do in the evening?
I watch TV in the evening.
Does your dad cook dinner?
No, my dad does not cook dinner.
When do you eat dinner?
I eat dinner at 7 p.m.
Where do you eat dinner?
I eat dinner in the kitchen.
Why do you eat early?
I eat early because I feel hungry.
Who do you eat dinner with?
I eat dinner with my family.
How do you help your mom?
I help my mom with the dishes.
Which plate do you use?
I use a white plate.
Do you watch movies?
Yes, I watch movies.
What does your teacher teach?
My teacher teaches English.
Does your brother play sports?
Yes, my brother plays basketball.
When does your mom go to work?
My mom goes to work at 9 a.m.
Where does your sister study?
My sister studies at a college.
Why does your dad wake up early?
My dad wakes up early for work.
Who does your laundry?
I do my laundry.
How does your friend travel?
My friend travels by train.
Which train does she take?
She takes the fast train.
Does your family go on trips?
Yes, my family goes on trips.
When do you go on vacation?
I go on vacation in summer.
Where do you go on vacation?
I go to the beach on vacation.
Why do you like the beach?
I like the beach because it is fun.
Who do you go to the beach with?
I go to the beach with my family.
How do you swim?
I swim in the sea.
Which swimsuit do you wear?
I wear a blue swimsuit.
Do you take pictures?
Yes, I take pictures.
What do you do at the beach?
I play in the sand at the beach.
Does your brother like the beach?
Yes, my brother likes the beach.
When does your family eat at the beach?
My family eats at the beach at 1 p.m.
Where do you sit at the beach?
I sit on a blanket at the beach.
Why do you bring a blanket?
I bring a blanket to sit comfortably.
Who do you play with at the beach?
I play with my brother at the beach.
How do you make a sandcastle?
I make a sandcastle with a bucket.
Which bucket do you use?
I use a yellow bucket.
Do you like to shop?
Yes, I like to shop.
What do you buy at the mall?
I buy clothes at the mall.
Does your mom shop with you?
Yes, my mom shops with me.
When you go to the mall?
I go to the mall on Saturday.
Where do you buy shoes?
I buy shoes at the shoe store.
Why do you buy new shoes?
I buy new shoes because I need them.
Who do you go shopping with?
I go shopping with my sister.
How do you pay at the store?
I pay with my card at the store.
Which store do you like?
I like the big store.
Do you eat at the mall?
Yes, I eat at the mall.
What do you eat at the mall?
I eat pizza at the mall.
Does your sister eat pizza?
Yes, my sister eats pizza.
When do you eat at the mall?
I eat at the mall at 2 p.m.
Where do you eat at the mall?
I eat in the food court at the mall.
Why do you eat pizza?
I eat pizza because it is tasty.
Who do you eat with at the mall?
I eat with my sister at the mall.
How do you drink your soda?
I drink my soda with a straw.
Which soda do you drink?
I drink cola.
Do you watch movies at the mall?
Yes, I watch movies at the mall.
What do you do after shopping?
I go home after shopping.
Does your dad like to shop?
No, my dad does not like to shop.
Where do you keep your new clothes?
I keep my new clothes in the closet.
Why do you rest after shopping?
I rest after shopping because I am tired.
Who do you call after shopping?
I call my friend after shopping.
How do you feel after shopping?
I feel happy after shopping.
Which dress do you buy?
I buy red dress.
Do you like to cook?
Yes, I like to cook.
What do you cook for dinner?
I cook chicken for dinner.
Does your mom help you cook?
Yes, my mom helps me cook.
When do you cook dinner?
I cook dinner at 6 p.m.
Where do you keep your food?
I keep my food in the fridge.
Why do you cook chicken?
I cook chicken because I like it.
Who do you cook for?
I cook for my family.
How do you make chicken?
I make chicken in the oven.
Which spices do you use?
I use salt and pepper.
Do you eat with your family?
Yes, I eat with my family.
What do you do after dinner?
I wash the dishes after dinner.
Does your brother help with the dishes?
No, my brother does not help.
When do you wash the dishes?
I wash the dishes at 7 p.m.
Where do you wash the dishes?
I wash the dishes in the kitchen.
Why do you wash the dishes?
I wash the dishes to keep the kitchen clean.
Who do you talk to after dinner?
I talk to my dad after dinner.
How do you dry the dishes?
I dry the dishes with a towel.
Which towel do you use?
I use a white towel.
Do you like to read books?
Yes, I like to read books.
What do you read before bed?
I read a story before bed.
Does your sister read books?
Yes, my sister reads books.
When do you read your book?
I read my book at 9 p.m.
Where do you keep your books?
I keep my books on the shelf.
Why do you read before bed?
I read before bed to feel calm.
Who do you talk about books with?
I talk about books with my friend.
How do you choose a book?
I choose a book by its cover.
Which book do you like best?
I like a mystery book best.
Do you go to the library?
Yes, I go to the library.
What do you do at the library?
I borrow books at the library.
Does your friend go to the library?
Yes, my friend goes to the library.
When do you go to the library?
I go to the library on Friday.
Where is the library?
The library is near my house.
Why do you borrow books?
I borrow books to read at home.
Who do you go to the library with?
I go to the library with my sister.
How do you find books at the library?
I find books with the librarian's help.
Which section do you like?
I like the children's section.
Do you like to exercise?
Yes, I like to exercise.
What do you do at the gym?
I run at the gym.
Does your brother go to the gym?
Yes, my brother goes to the gym.
When do you go to the gym?
I go to the gym at 5 p.m.
Where do you keep your gym bag?
I keep my gym bag in the locker.
Why do you run at the gym?
I run at the gym to stay healthy.
Who do you exercise with?
I exercise with my friend.
How do you feel after the gym?
I feel strong after the gym.
Which exercise do you do?
I do yoga at the gym.
Do you drink water at the gym?
Yes, I drink water at the gym.
What do you wear to the gym?
I wear a t-shirt and pants to the gym.
Does your mom exercise?
No, my mom does not exercise.
When do you finish at the gym?
I finish at the gym at 6 p.m.
Where do you go after the gym?
I go home after the gym.
Why do you take a shower after the gym?
I take a shower to feel clean.
Who do you talk to after the gym?
I talk to my friend after the gym.
How do you go home from the gym?
I go home by car.
Which car do you drive?
I drive a small car.
Do you like to travel?
Yes, I like to travel.
What do you do on vacation?
I visit new places on vacation.
Does your family travel with you?
Yes, my family travels with me.
When do you plan your vacation?
I plan my vacation in winter.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Paris.
Why do you want to go to Paris?
I want to go to Paris to see the Eiffel Tower.
Who do you travel with?
I travel with my parents.
How do you book your tickets?
I book my tickets online.
Which place do you like best?
I like the beach best.
Do you take pictures on vacation?
Yes, I take pictures on vacation.
What do you do at the airport?
I wait for my flight at the airport.
Does your brother like to fly?
Yes, my brother likes to fly.
When do you arrive at the airport?
I arrive at the airport at 7 a.m.
Where do you sit on the plane?
I sit near the window on the plane.
Why do you sit near the window?
I sit near the window to see the view.
Who do you talk to on the plane?
I talk to my mom on the plane.
How do you feel on the plane?
I feel excited on the plane.
Which bag do you carry?
I carry a small bag.
Do you eat on the plane?
Yes, I eat on the plane.
What do you eat on the plane?
I ate a sandwich on the plane.
Does your sister sleep on the plane?
Yes, my sister sleeps on the plane.
When do you land?
I land at 10 a.m.
Where do you go after landing?
I go to the hotel after landing.
Why do you stay at a hotel?
I stay at a hotel to rest.
Who do you stay with at the hotel?
I stay with my family at the hotel.
How do you book a hotel?
I book a hotel online.
Which hotel do you choose?
I choose a big hotel.
Do you swim at the hotel?
Yes, I swim at the hotel.
What do you do at the hotel?
I eat breakfast at the hotel.
Does your dad swim?
No, my dad does not swim.
When do you eat breakfast at the hotel?
I eat breakfast at 8 a.m.
Where do you eat at the hotel?
I eat in the dining room at the hotel.
Why do you eat at the hotel?
I eat at the hotel because it is easy.
Who do you eat with at the hotel?
I eat with my parents at the hotel.
How do you like the hotel food?
I like the hotel food a lot.
Which food do you eat at the hotel?
I eat eggs and bread at the hotel.
Do you visit museums?
Yes, I visit museums.
What do you see at the museum?
I see old paintings at the museum.
Does your mom like museums?
Yes, my mom likes museums.
When do you go to the museum?
I go to the museum on Sunday.
Where is the museum?
The museum is in this city.
Why do you visit the museum?
I visit the museum to learn history.
Who do you go to the museum with?
I go to the museum with my brother.
How do you go to the museum?
I go to the museum by car.
Which painting do you like?
I like the big painting.
Do you take pictures at the museum?
Yes, I take pictures at the museum.
What do you do after the museum?
I eat lunch after the museum.
Does your brother like history?
Yes, my brother likes history.
When do you eat lunch after the museum?
I eat lunch at 1 p.m.
Where do you eat lunch?
I eat lunch at a cafe.
Why do you eat at a cafe?
I eat at a cafe because it is close.
Who do you eat lunch with?
I ate lunch with my brother.
How do you pay at the cafe?
I pay with cash at the cafe.
Which food do you order at the cafe?
I order a sandwich at the cafe.
Do you drink coffee at the cafe?
Yes, I drink coffee at the cafe.
What do you do after lunch?
I go home after lunch.
Does your mom eat at the cafe?
No, my mom does not eat at the cafe.
When do you reach home?
I reach home at 3 p.m.
Where do you rest?
I rest in my bedroom.
Why do you rest after lunch?
I rest after lunch because I am tired.
Who do you talk to at home?
I talk to my sister at home.
How do you spend your afternoon?
I spend my afternoon reading.
Which book do you read in the afternoon?
I read a history book in the afternoon.
Do you like history books?
Yes, I like history books.
Does your dad watch movies?
Yes, my dad watches movies.
When do you watch the movie?
I watch the movie at 7 p.m.
Where do you watch the movie?
I watch the movie in the living room.
Why do you watch movies?
I watch movies to have fun.
Who do you watch movies with?
I watch movies with my family.
How do you choose a movie?
I choose a movie online.
Which movie do you like best?
I like comedy movies best.